Good morning or afternoon, depending on what time you are listening to this podcast, and welcome to yet another episode of Do Geese Have Udders, the show where we ask the unanswered and answer the unasked, looking at news and online stuff too. I'm Michael Gooch, and as always, I'm joined by my good friend Matthew Thompson. You right, Matt?
My back's on fire, man.
Good. Then let's start the show. Matt, it's a small question for you, but I'm curious to know your answer to it.
4 words.
What do you mean 4 words?
4 words. Small question. Anything more is a medium question. Anything past 8 is
So
a large
I've got to
question.
change my question now to be 4 words long.
Yes.
Okay, right. This is going to be fun because I'm going to play on my fingers and try and work out which words I don't need.
Play on my fingers.
Play on my fingers. You heard me. Play on my fingers. That's 4 words. That's not a question though. The only way I can do it is with 3 words. But then
That's still a small question.
yeah, but then the question won't make sense.
Just say
but
question
you're
mark.
you're still giving answer. I could start it by saying Matt. Matt,
Yes.
how many plugs?
So is this plug sockets, raw plugs, plugs that go in your ears?
Well, this is where now I need to ask the rest of the question.
Personally,
how many? Oh, do you want to try? Try answering
personally,
it before I tell you
wall
what it is?
socket plugs don't taste very nice.
Right. Okay.
Earplugs are doable, but sometimes they get caught in your throat. And raw plugs just cut your gums, so I wouldn't really want to munch them.
Right. Okay. Kind of the answer I was expecting from a 4-word question, but here we go, Matt. So plugs.
Yes.
How? I did a quiz with a friend a little while ago, and something came up in it called the plug socket house.
Okay.
And it is a house that is all the rooms are just full of plug sockets, but they're like in weird places. There are some just like at angles on the ceiling, some are kind of symmetrical to others, but then there's just some in the middle of the room. It's clearly for someone, techie of some kind. There's
That's
that
what
many
we
just
call it.
weird plugs. How many plugs do you think a room should have? A regular room.
One in each corner.
So in a square room,
Well, 2 in each, if you know what I mean.
double plugs.
Yeah.
So 8
Like that.
plugs in a room.
Like that one.
Yeah.
With USB ports as well.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, that's a good answer because we've always been in rooms that just don't have enough plugs.
True. It's very annoying.
And yeah, I've got a dad who likes going around to
I
rooms
too have a dad.
and just being like, oh, that's where you came from. And he just likes putting. You look so confused and offended.
Well, no, is he said to me, or is that what he said when he goes into every room?
What?
My dad goes into every room and says, "Ah, that's where you came from." What?
I don't know. But yeah, so that was just a small question of how many plugs should you have in a room? I guess. I think we can assume like 50, 100 plugs is too many plug sockets.
Oh yeah, the electricity will be crazy.
How many?
Imagine having a baby walking around with a knife. Sorry, that's dangerous. A metal chopstick. Come on, it's 2022.
Sorry, as my infant child is eating his ramen with these metal chopsticks, because we're all about rewashing them. We're not about any of this wastage, and
Waste wood.
no, and God, why are you giving baby chopsticks? Yeah, that was
Put it in the plug
all
socket,
my
innit?
question was. We always experience these rooms that don't have enough plug sockets. My dad likes going around our house and adding plug sockets into rooms. He hasn't got that carried away though. He hasn't done 50,000 plug sockets in a house, but
Is that how many's in the house?
not exactly.
So
but
you haven't
there's-
actually said.
There is a significant number of plug sockets in this house. Do you want me to give you that exact number?
Sure.
So, Matt, this bizarre 5-bedroom house is covered with dozens of plug sockets in every room. It's gone on sale recently for £1.3 million, and there's roughly 147 sockets throughout the house.
47.
In one room, 147. In one room, there is as many as 36, and they're all just placed, quote, haphazardly in the walls. They're all just like weird angles, weird places. It doesn't make any sense. There's like a little picture for you, Matt. They're just randomly on the walls.
I like to think the people walked into their house and they go, you know what?
There's only one plug socket in this room.
No,
I'm going to
no,
sort that
no.
out.
This is more small-minded than that.
Okay.
Hit the blunt. I want to be famous, but they already have houses made of carpet. They made a Lego house on that toy show.
James makes
You know what? Eureka. We need plugs. Loads of plugs there. There's a space for a plug there. Yeah, man. Let's just put plugs everywhere. And then like his wife comes in, hits the bong, and goes, We need plugs on the ceiling. Yeah, we do.
But what are we going to put in these plugs in the ceiling, though?
That's the thing. It'd be more of a gimmick if we put
nothing. They're just decorative plugs.
Oh, you can actually wire plugs with multiple plugs. So we could have plugs dangling from plugs off the ceiling.
But what are we going to plug in these plugs? We haven't got enough money now for the fridge and the television and the lamps and everything because we've blown all the money now ordering these plugs.
Honey, extension cables.
So we're putting all these plugs in so we can power extension cables.
Yeah.
What are we going to plug into the extension cables?
Extension cables.
What are we going to plug into those extension cables?
A longer extension cable.
What are we going to plug into that extension cable? That's longer than the previous extension cable.
Probably a safety device so the kid don't put the metal chopsticks in it.
Oh, that's a good thing. I'm so glad you got them for his birthday. He's really loving that ramen.
He is.
We should probably give him a name now. I think we should call him Darius.
That sounds like a stoner name.
So, Matthew.
Yo.
I watched a film recently. It was kind of a documentary and I love it. I put it on my Instagram saying I think it might be one of my favourite films, if not my favourite film of this year. It's a film called Goodnight Oppy. I don't know if you've heard of it. Probably never heard of it in your life. It only came out relatively recently, but it's about the Opportunity Rover, which NASA sent to Mars.
God, you're in Rovers.
My rover will one day be on Mars. All right, it'll be one day be up there. Basically, Opportunity and Spirit were two rovers that NASA sent to Mars back in 2003. The whole journey of getting them both up there is just incredible. And they were both predicted to last 90 sols. And a sol is a day on Mars because it's not quite 24 hours like it is here.
Why is it called a sol? Why not a day?
Sol as in sun, so orbit around the sun. But because they don't want to then confuse it by Earth Day, Mars Day, they just call it sol.
Yeah, but so if we go to Mars...
I don't work at NASA, man. I don't have this answer.
Are they going to quote money or Mars bucks and we have Earth bucks or something?
Well, there is that debate
of
when the first person is born on Mars...
There will be a Martian. I understand
Are we going to have to start adding planet of birth onto passports?
Well, yeah, the entire humanology would be different because of the gravity, the U rays of the sun and all that stuff.
Yeah, we look
so they'll be completely different from...
Yeah.
And then,
absolutely right.
Yeah.
But back to the rovers.
Yes, rovers.
These rovers.
The dump on Mars that your rover's going to be at.
My rover will be proud to join these rovers. These rovers were expected to last the equivalent of 90 days up there. And one of them lasted 15 years. That's incredible.
What, one of the robots?
Yes. So they expected it to last 90 days. Mostly because of all of the dust that would gather on the solar panels that is used pretty much to power it.
But didn't they have something to clean it?
No, they did. Well, they couldn't work out a way to clean it. It's not that
simple. Fans. There's no air on Mars.
not quite the same as here.
We bring our own air.
Almost in a way, you're kind of onto it. At one point, one of the rovers, I can't remember if it was Spirit or Opportunity, but they encountered a dust devil, which we have those on Earth. They're like little tornado-y type of things.
Yes.
And they were worried it was going to damage it. Turns out that was the rover's best friend because it cleared the dust from the solar panels.
It makes sense.
And then just over time, they stopped working just due to other bits of dust in little bits of joints and things. I think one of their cameras' arms, they said pretty much got arthritis and it couldn't actually move as much. So they had to keep it in one place. One of the wheels broke. Basically, it's just a fascinating documentary talking about how much they've actually done on Mars. Recommend giving it a watch. But I love space. But the question that I'm giving you from this, we're sitting really far away today for some reason.
Like your space.
But I want to know what you think we will see in our lifetime when it comes to space achievements.
Mars.
What do you think? What on Mars? So, I think
in our
lifetime, we are definitely going to see somebody on Mars.
Really?
Definitely going to happen. I think in the next 10 years,
I'm pretty sure it takes a couple of years to actually get to Mars. It's a pretty far away space.
It's not the nearest place in the world. If my rover happened to go there, it would be stopping a few times to fill up, and I probably couldn't keep it going that much because it's currently having to run on the E5 petrol, which is not cheap. But
that's not too bad. What
do you mean it's not too bad? We just looked up how far away Mars is.
Yeah, well, at least your clock's already damaged enough where it makes sense with the Mars.
Yeah, the
time.
clock in the rover doesn't work. We get it.
I'm pretty sure it's 2 - 6 when I went in there.
Oh yeah, it just comes.
How long do you think it takes to get to Mars?
How fast am I travelling? miles an hour.
24,600 miles per hour.
I mean, I had to be there like 1 second. That's quite fast.
That's an average spacecraft departs from Earth at the speed of 24,600 miles per hour, which is actually insane.
That's really insane.
Yeah, that's how far a rocket takes off.
But I feel like in the back of my mind something's saying 3 months.
Okay, well, it's 3 million miles away,
Yeah.
and you're saying 3 months.
I feel like I've heard 3 months somewhere. No, or it might be 3 weeks. Is there a 3 there somewhere?
No.
Oh, am I close?
Like I said, it's probably you're thinking of 3 million miles away. No, you're not close.
Maybe, or maybe I'm thinking of the documentary or something on that.
It says it will take about 7 months to travel at that speed to get to Mars,
Oh, okay.
which isn't a long time.
No,
So
that's not far.
I agree with you actually. I think we'll have our first dump on the Mars, and then we'll start moving people over because we have to. Was it bio change something?
Oh yeah,
Send
we'd have
pollution up there. So
well, this goes back
gets
to like Series 2 when we were saying growing carrot. No, you can't grow carrots because they'll get lost in the soil and all that nonsense.
no, because you need a atmosphere on Mars. So you have to send something that destroys the ozones or whatever it is. So
that's the
oxygen will
thing.
get trapped.
I don't know how far in a lifetime it'll be until we have a civilization on Mars or like a
how big
like
does a
like
gene
like,
pool
like a
need to be?
biome on Mars or something. I reckon that we'll have a ship land on Mars. People will live in that ship for like a little while and then come back. That's going to happen in our lifetime. I predict that'll be in the next 10 years. I know people are already talking about creating a habitat on the moon. I reckon that is going to happen in our lifetime. There's enough science fiction out there for them to base it on. But I think there'll be some form of space tourism as well. I mean,
Yeah.
Richard Branson and what's his face?
Jeremy Clark
Richard
Hammond.
Jeremy Kyle.
and the other one.
Somehow, oh my god. Jeffrey Bezos, obviously.
Elon Musk.
Oh yeah, Elon Musk. He's still out and about when he's
Yeah.
not blowing up Twitter. Yeah. What other things though do you think will happen in our lifetime when it comes to space? So we've got space tourism, or at least in the early atmosphere, civilization on the moon, a man or a woman on Mars.
The first McDonald's
Where?
up in space.
Well,
It will go around the International Space Station and meet like once a day, and then they go off again.
Will it be somewhat like Austin Powers' spaceship? No, Dr. Evil's spaceship, and it would just be shaped like Ronald McDonald, just like floating through the sky.
I think it
some
would be.
French fries or something.
But do you know how many people you'd have to send up to carry on the gene pool? Like how many people minimum you'd have to send to Mars, considering no one dies?
Is this in order to create like enough people where they can start procreating on Mars?
Yeah,
and stuff
so
like
you
that?
don't start having bad genetics from
Right,
someone
yeah.
who has no eyes.
I don't think that will happen in our lifetime. But how long will
So
that?
you're sending those people
How
up
many
to
people will
die.
that be? What? No, they will just.
Wow.
They will come back,
Wow.
Matt. They will come back.
It'll be
Well, actually,
it would be a one-way mission.
Well, on that note, people who are currently signing up to be on that first rocket to Mars, I think they are having to go with the intention that it will be a one-way trip.
Yeah, do you know how heavy space fuel is?
How heavy and expensive is it?
Yeah.
Not? Yeah.
It's like getting this there because it's all empty, but getting back, that's a whole different kettle of fish.
Mm.
But anyway, minimum, you need 160 people to carry on the human race.
Yeah, now that's
Which isn't a
why
lot.
I think that will happen on the moon in our lifetime.
moon?
I don't think it'll happen on
Called
Mars.
moon men. Moon
I think we will have moon men in our
We have
lifetime.
a moon cow. Bit of Futurama. I bet there'll be a theme park on the moon. Just calling it.
Absolutely, there will be. Yeah, 100%. There's a book called Artemis, which is by Andy Weir, who did who did The Martian, and I'm sure we've all seen the film of The Martian. And it's pretty much the same thing on the moon, and how there is a whole entire bit dedicated to tourism
Yeah.
and like looking at.
The Earth.
You go out in like those like Zorb type of things, and you go and see like the Moon Rover and like where Neil Armstrong's boots are left and all that jazz.
Yeah.
I think that's very very plausible.
Well,
Definitely happen. And there will be a McDonald's up there, as you say.
For people who understand who didn't understand what Michael said, Futurama season 1, episode 1, where they go to the theme park on the moon to deliver a package. There's a better example.
Oh yeah, here's another good example.
Yeah.
Another cracking example. What else can we think? How far do you think we're going to go into space? Do you think
I
we're
think we're going to breed
pictures of-
animals.
Breed animals? We were already doing that out on Earth.
No, in space.
So so we're going to take our animals into space and
Well, they've already done that.
we're going to take some dogs up to the moon and be free.
I read
Bark bark.
I mean, that would be horrible. They'd have no food. They'd hunt on humans. But anyway, I I watched a video online.
Oh, you can't read.
Yeah. I'm trying. No, I can read quite well actually.
How's
But
the
anyway,
how's the hungry caterpillar?
They sent, I think I'm gonna say fruit flies up to space,
Yes, they did do that.
and
Yeah.
then they hatched, and then they were, they worked out how to fly. I think after like 6 days,
Yeah.
and then they splooged out some babies, and then that was like the first birth in space, and the babies could fly correctly straight away.
Well, that's it. I think they were trying to work out would they be able to breathe the same in zero gravity or whatever it was.
Yeah, if they could actually give birth and not get defects or
Mm.
get stuck inside you.
Yeah. Do you think we will have some form of, I don't want to call it alien contact, but do you think we will find life on another planet in our lifetime?
No.
You don't? I think we do.
I think life will
we
find us.
Oh, that's a bit
Yeah.
more sinister.
Yeah.
I like it.
So probability says that yes, there should be life out there, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Like the fact that people think we're the only ones. Well, again, people think the Earth's flat, so I guess most of us are a bit backwards at the moment. But anyway, there 100% should be life out there.
Yep.
Like, granted, it is a very small percentage how we got life because we're in the Goldilocks zone, got water from
Mhm.
like a meteorite.
In order
or
to create
something.
life as we know it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, the best design's standing up with 2 arms and 2 legs. Granted, you could have more arms or more legs and you'll be more efficient. But you'll need a bigger head.
I've seen some people and I look at them and I go, there is no way you were the peak of evolution.
Oh yeah, some Cronenbergs out there, aren't there?
Yeah. No, how do you think then that they will discover us then? How do you think that? Do you mean as in something will crash on Earth and we'll be like, oh, there's actually life in this, like in a meteorite or something like that? Or you mean green men will rock up at our doors and be like, yo, where's this McDonald's we keep hearing about?
Where's this movie from
Where is
Community?
Ronald?
Where's this movie from Community? We keep we haven't got it yet on
It's
our
coming
planet.
next year. It's coming on Peacock next year. I'm following the Twitter. Well excited.
Yeah, I don't know. They probably might just come along. They might want to see. You know, War of the Worlds when the Martians come over
Mm-hmm.
and like die because of bacteria.
Yeah.
There's a comic I read where it's on Marvel's app where they travel through like different universes. I
Yep.
mean, it's happening now. People understand.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them was the Martians attacked like normal from the film, and then
Yep.
10 or 20 years later, the Martians became immune to the diseases and then attacked again and just took over the Earth. So I think that might happen.
So do you think we're not only going to have alien contact in our lifetime? You think that we're going to be overruled in our lifetime by aliens?
Oh yeah, definitely. Have you seen how humans, the white man, Roman Empire, British Empire? Have you seen how that works?
Yeah, we've been doing a cracking job so far, haven't we?
Oh yeah, we got nukes. Oh, we got lasers.
Beep, 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 beep,
The best
beep.
way to defeat a nuke is just to teleport it. Just saying.
Do you think we'll have teleportation in our lifetime?
Nah,
me
this
neither.
ain't Willy
Nah.
Wonka.
Something we can agree on.
It would be easier to get home. But then what happens if with teleportation? I like to think how it would work. So if I teleportation ray and shot you, and I set it to I don't know the London Eye. So I shoot you, you go to the London Eye.
Yep.
Do you then swap with
Fascinated by out of all the places you chose the London Eye, but do proceed.
with the particles there? So if I shot you, would you then?
Am I going to be replaced by
Yeah,
the
so-
particles? That's how I would picture it happening.
But what
yeah.
if I shot you and then you teleport between a mummy and a child? Do I just have an arm and a little arm appear in front of me
Yeah, you would.
as you appear between two?
You would. There is a film. I can't remember what film it is, but they've got someone like that who, when they're teleporting, and I mean, we kind of get this thing all the time, I guess, now in sci-fi when there's like teleportation. Like if they're teleporting somewhere they can't see, and like there's a wall there or something, they will become embedded in the wall. And so the particles from the wall, where's the wall? I guess then does. Oh no, because the wall doesn't really teleport, does it? But it'll still be the
You
particles.
would teleport.
I don't know, man.
Well, the way you're
I just
describing-
know about space.
The thing you said, it sounds like you take a chunk out of something and then
Yeah,
that
pretty
chunk
much.
appears here and then you
Yeah,
disappear.
That's kind of how I would picture it going.
Again, that's how I would.
But then there's
Honestly,
going to be
defeat anyone.
there'll be loads of particles then around that are just disappearing for the sake of it because somebody is swapping them with someone else.
But a thing I actually did read is if you do swap so say if I shot you and you moved your particles over there,
Yep.
And they didn't move, it would create a little nuclear reaction because your particles would just then instantly teleport into other particles and then split them
Yeah.
because you're filling space
Yeah, no,
that's
you're
already
right,
filled,
yeah.
and it would just be a nuke.
You're reading some sciencey books, aren't
Yeah,
you?
I'm getting into science. I find it quite fascinating. Screw like Harry Potter, man. Science is mad.
Sci-fi over fantasy.
Bless you.
Hey, thanks for listening to our podcast. Don't forget to give that follow or subscribe button a click so you don't miss out on any future episodes. And why not check out our Twitter and Discord too, where we post updates, behind the scenes stuff and just general other news about the show. Links in the description below. Got any topics or questions you think need a proper answer or have yet to even be asked? Drop it in the comments below or send us a tweet. Until next time.